How's it going everyone? I'm Zfiles and today I'm going to be comparing the Velonasaur and the 4 different turrets from ARK Survival Evolved in a 4 video long series. These videos will be uploaded every Friday, so make sure to be subscribed so you don't miss the next ones. Today we'll be comparing the Velonasaur with the auto turrets. We'll be comparing their damage per projectile, damage speed, attack range, health and resistance, target options, cost, ammo, and then power requirements. First we'll be comparing their damage per projectile. So for the Velonasaurs, they do 54 damage for the average level 225, and the super OP one would do 130, and so they all do different when you're mounting them, but when they're in turret mode they always do 20 damage each. So no matter how much you pump into the melee damage, they'll always do 20 melee damage, 20 damage per projectile when they're in turret mode. In the current ARK version, which is 289.100, the auto turret does 118 for each projectile. Next we have their damage speed. So first we'll have the Velonasaur. So these guys, they shoot super fast, and the speed of this is 10 krills per second. So every 100 milliseconds it shoots a krill, which is so fast. Probably one of the fastest things. So next we have the turret. So this guy shoots a lot more slower. He shoots 2.86 rounds per second, and since he's doing 118 damage per projectile, that means for his DPS it is 337, which is more than the Velonasaur. Next we have the attack range. So when the Velonasaur is in turret mode, I'll just put him in turret mode. So he can only shoot from 17 foundations away when he's in turret mode, but if I go to a Velonasaur that I mount, then he can go from 23 foundations away. So if you're riding the Velonasaur, then you can shoot from a bit further away, rather than if the Velonasaur was on turret mode. The auto turret, they have 3 modes where they can have their range set to. So there's low, medium and high. Low is only 6.7 foundations, medium is 17.7 foundations, so that's a tiny bit more, but like super similar to the Velonasaurs when they're in turret mode. And also their high does 27 foundations away. Next we have health and resistance. So for the Velonasaurs, it really depends on how much you pump them, what levels they are. So level 1 Velonasaur starts with 440 health, and they can also have saddles. So at level 1, a primitive saddle is 25 armor, but you can get like ascendant saddles to make them a lot more tough, and you can even breed them to give them 30% resistance. So this is level 225, which has 3168 health, and this is a super Velonasaur, so like pretending that I bred it up, and it has 11,000 health, so they can have quite a lot of health. Next for the auto turret. The auto turret, it can't even be damaged by Velonasaurs, because the auto turret is treated as a stone structure, even though it looks metal, and it has 3000 health, so it can still be one hit by a rocket launcher and stuff, but it's a good thing these things shoot down the rocket launchers. Next we have the target options. So for the turret, you can give them warnings. You can either do no warning, which makes them shoot stuff straight away, 2-second warning, which means it flashes red and then it has 2 seconds for whatever it's about to shoot to get away, and then there's the 4-second warning where it also flashes red and there's a 4-second chance for the enemy to get away. And besides that, they also have all targets, which means they shoot all of these. There's also only survivors or tamed creatures, which is good for PvP. Only survivors, which is only the players. Only wild creatures, which is good for PvE. Only survivors and mounted creatures, so this would be the players and if players are riding or something. And last is only tamed creatures, which means it's only creatures that are like alone, that are tamed. The Velonasaur doesn't have any target options. You can change the aggro radius though, so you can have it lowest, low, medium and high. It's not really that useful though. And they can also only damage thatch and greenhouse structures. So if there's an armored crystal, it can even have like wood walls and it can be protected from the Velonasaurs. Next we have cost. So this is how hard it is to get them. The Velonasaurs, they're not that hard to get because they just eat meat, and to knock them out you just put a creature in front of them to tank all the damage and then knock them out from like behind. The Velonasaur saddle is learned at 27, so it's really easy to get, and you only need 150 keratin or chitin, 185 fiber and 350 hide. For the auto turret, it's a lot harder because you need to put it on a proper foundation so it's more protected. You also need to give it like more protection than that. You need to build electrical cables, electrical outlets, and then the power generator, and this needs gasoline and everything. But for the turret itself, you have to learn it at level 68, which is a lot further from the Velonasaur saddle. And also you need 50 cementing paste, 70 electronics, 140 metal ingots, and 20 polymer. Next we have ammo and power requirements. So Velonasaurs, they just really need a lot of stamina, so you just pump that. They also need lots of food, so make sure you have a lot of raw meat on them all the time. For the automated turrets, it's a lot harder because you need to make advanced rifle bullets to put in them, which are, well, they're not the easiest thing to make. They're learned at level 58 and they cost 9 gunpowder and 1 metal ingot for each one, so that's pretty difficult to do. And it also needs a generator with gasoline in it to run all the time, and also you'll need electrical outlets to power them all. I'd say the better one is probably the Velonasaur for low levels, and for high levels the automated turret, since the turret has more target options and it can shoot things from further away and everything. They do more DPS, but Velonasaurs, they're good for close range, they have shorter range than the turret. They also do really fast damage, and they do a lot more damage when you are riding on them. So overall I'd say if you want to defend your base, you should have a mix of them. So for far away you have the turrets, and when the players or whatever is trying to raid you, get close to your base, then these guys will fight them next. So if you guys enjoyed this video, found it helpful, subscribing and liking helps me out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.